The 4 years were the most tumultuous and happy and sometimes exhilarating experience. I was in politics, meeting people. I've only heard their applause and their invisible hand which lifted me to stardom. Now I shook hands with that hand that raised me to this position. And so it was a great experience. I did miss cinema, but I was going through an experience which was fantastic. I tried to be different. I am like the audience. I'd like to see a kind of films. It's like how you whet your appetite thinking about food. We filmmakers think about the kind of cinema we want to see and we make them. It might be the same story sometimes, it's same kind of genre, but we try to do it differently. Our appetite has changed over time and our cooking style have changed because of all the utensils that we get. And the equipments, the techniques have all improved so much. I haven't even heard of these kind of machines about 30 years back when we did the first Vikram. Now they're all available and reachable. I think the applause is the only magic that makes us work. Sometimes it's more satisfying than the payment you get for the film. Because you can spend it all away, but this applause, you can sort of chew it like cud. We always think that the brightest point is yet to come. And we're going towards that. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we are hurtling at great speed towards it. For me, for direction's sake, you can call it South India. But otherwise, it is India for me. For direction's sake, you can call it North India, East India, and West India. We never say West Indian films. We say Mumbai films, or much to my chagrin, they call it Bollywood films. But we lose sense of direction, sense of community with art, and it should stay that way. And as far as language is concerned, that's our pride. Nobody will lose their language for another. They'll be curious to know another language. That's what we did with English. That's not our language. Look at us. We are conversing in English. And that will be ready. But for that, I will not lose Tamil or Marathi or Bengali for that matter. Ask a Bengali, he will say the same thing. There's no issue. It's a good thing that's happening. It's like you never complain about South Indian petrol or North Indian petrol. It fuels our vehicles and we use it. It is for all of us to enjoy. It's like, it's a change of scene, but it's the same language we speak. At least the cinema people speak one language, cinema. Internationally. If you're a film person, you will, whether you're from New Zealand or India, doesn't matter. We at once connect with each other and exchange even techniques. We show each other's films. That's why I like the idea. It used to happen in Delhi before. Now it's shifted to Goa. But I enjoyed it when it happened in Delhi. I miss it, those times. Not that I don't like going to Goa, but there's something else. There's a historic element to a Delhi Film Festival. I miss it a lot. And you're a journalist. Do you also do politics? How do you do it? How do you even vote? And then vote for the wrong person sometimes. So we all do it. We must do it. I think politics is something we shouldn't leave to somebody else. It's a democracy. All of us should play an important part. You take care of it like your bank account. How you keep checking your bank account, you must check your politics, every one of us, and also sing the national anthem, which may not be in your language. In my case, it's not my language, but I sing it with pride. The diversity and the unity should be maintained. never was a full country. It became a full country. It was a dream. We made it happen. And we cannot let anything destroy it. As a matter of fact, it was like going through my old films album. It's a very strange thing. Usually a director comes and explains a scene and he says, have you seen Ganga Jamuna? Have you seen Dilip Saab's scene with a gun when he realizes what he has in his hand is a gun? He has an expression in his face. That's how usually they say. Now this director is a fan of mine. So he'll say, I don't know whether you remember the film Satya, where in scene number so-and-so, you would do this. I'd say, I don't. And then he'll repeat it verbatim and say, that's what I want in this scene, that kind of. So I said, have I been feeding the audience old food all this time because you're quoting from my own films? So tell me something about Ryan Gosling or somebody like that. Then he would say, I can't think of those things. I only come up with you as an exemplary gratia. It was all at one time, it was gratifying and confusing for me. But it was a very interesting experience. I think I've come to an age where people remember all the mistakes I've done, and sometimes the good ones also. I want more people to see it. That's why we spent so much on the publicity, that it's reached all over India. It's possible now. And we would love to take it to China also, if possible. That's the kind of expansion I want for Indian films. Not just my film, for every Indian film. That's how Hollywood grew to its size. We must be involved. As I said in the beginning, politics affects us. We should affect it. Otherwise, we have nobody to complain to except us. Maybe exchange places. I'm in Delhi, our PM is in Tamil Nadu.